Well, that was officially far too much prep work. Sorry about that. Realized I still had my cameras in the wrong place. They were over on my laptop, and I do not want to be doing this on my laptop. Hi, how do be everyone out there in computer land, in internet land, having a good Tuesday? So far, I can't complain about my day. Really disliked the last short that I put up, but I wanted to put something out. I mean, the story is fine. It's the way that I'm speaking in it that really bugs the heck out of me. I'm talking like I'm William Shatner, but like worse. Anyway, today's plan. Let's wrap all of this stuff up. Since it seems that I'm not going to use Drone.io or Drone, it is drone.io where you can get it if you're interested in trying it for yourself, but it looks like it's not the software for me. It might get revisited. We'll see. But for now, let's close that project out. Software general in progress. Here we are. So we've got all of our steps to create. Did I put anything in here as to why? No. Okay. And this may, if the situation with this one ends up being the same, sorry, when I say this one, if the situation of today's eval, where I'm going to be evaluating Tekton, ends up in roughly the same situation where it's a certificate situation, I may put the CI/CD thing on hold and just revisit how I'm handling certificates, because if that's going to be a problem ongoing, and it so far has been, it's not been a problem. So yeah, if I get one more instance where the biggest issue I run into is certificate based, it's time to revisit my current situation. But for now, let's double check what we got here in the eval. I've got my pain points. Oh, this is what I was attempting to answer, which I believe is just what we have here. Cool. So let's go over our success criteria. It should build automatically by branch. Not really. So it seemed like you could set up a cron job to have it automatically build, but it didn't seem like it was at least immediately apparent that it was webhook based, or that it would recognize, hey, there's a new version, and just build. Might need further investigation, might be a plugin that's required. Not sure. Connect immediately is the weirdest word to spell. Yep, it is an E. Me and E's. Again, with the E. So deploy by branch, kind of the same deal. It seemed like there is a Kubernetes runner, but that runs it seems like their image, and that kind of, it created a new pain point. So how to edit their image. It was either editing their runner so that it had my certificates and then editing the command that it ran. I don't know. That, I mean, when I finally got it to run, it came down to the missing certificate on the node. I'm doing the whole time. I'm William Shatnering it. Stop it. I say what I'm thinking and then I start remembering, like, no, was that accurate? Maybe it wasn't accurate. So let me stop and consider it while everybody's staring at me. And by everybody, I mean all, perhaps one of you. I don't know if that number's accurate. I should probably save this out as, call this out as results, but I'm going to say no. Deploy to branch to Kubernetes. Possibly. Again, it wasn't immediately apparent. To the container hub, certificate issues. So we're going to say possibly with more work. To App Store, did not test. We just never got there. Run on Kubernetes. Yes, I mean, it did get running. Slack integration did not test. Ah. So, I mean, there's our results, right? So, wait a minute. No, that's funny. Whoops. Let's go back to here. You guys watched me editing the wrong file this entire time. Okay, unsaved changes have been restored. Yeah, sure. We'll save it. We're going to take this. We're going to copy and pasta. Actually, we should just cut it. We'll just enter pasta and then we can reverse it. Cut it. Pasta. Now, everything in here isn't to say that this isn't possible. I'm sure that everything in here is possible. This is a reflection more on the way that my cluster is set up, right? So, I mean, I don't want to take anything away from the people that use Drone.io or the company that makes it. It's cool that they're putting it out there. That's awesome. And I may revisit it. I'm almost definitely going to revisit it, but it just, in my current situation, doesn't get the job done for me. So let's go back to, oops, that's not the back I wanted to. I'm going to go here. We are going to edit it. We're going to your research. You're no longer. We're going to say rejected. Verdict is decline. I'm going to say complexity for now. I'm going to, can I change these? Well, let's just make sure this is saved and we will upload again and we'll say final. And we'll say complexity, complexity, too high for now. Boom, 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 decline. We can say it was in dev services. Speaking of which, I don't think it's still running, but this spoilers. I'm kind of looking at the possibility of taking this screen, resizing it so it's a little bit smaller, and maybe putting the statistics, basically these statistics, along the bottom. I think I can do some other cool stuff with that. We'll see. All right, so now status rejected. Let's go back to issues, and we should have, do we have one for Tekton yet? We do not. All right, so new issue. This is research. We're gonna go with Tekton, CI/CD. We will copy and pasta. Status is new. Normal, assigned to me. Make sure this is saved. Oops. But it's gonna have to be Tekton eval. Choose a file. Bada bing. Then we have to look at, we have to make the install, so let's copy. Most of this is going to go away, but you know, whatever. Let's see. We need a new one. Paste. This is Tekton. We want to gather our requirements. We got to see which ports. And then our steps. All right, create. Cool. Now let's go digging. Let's start with the pipelines. All right, so prerequisites, a cluster. .28 or higher. Or later. Do we control cluster admin privileges to the current user? That's interesting. Fine, we'll see. Optional install a metric server if you need support. Okay, not worried about that. Let's copy this down. Oh, grab this. We don't have any information on the ports or anything like that, but that's okay because we have a release file. Let's grab that. sure. Ooh. Let's not let me. Come on. Yes. Nope, we don't need you for now. I just wanted to exit the one. All right, this one can go away. We don't need you. You are the one that we are needing. And we are in main. Okay. Man, I'm gonna have to move some stuff over to archive soon. Tekton. All right. Actually, let's go here and -B. All right, there we go. So now back to dev services, Tekton, and we want a wget this. And let's see what we got. That's a long one. This is going to be interesting, just because of that. All right, so it's going to create its own namespace. That's easy enough for us to deal with. The Apache license, cool. It's creating a cluster role that gives controller access. It can list and watch pods. It can list nodes. Get, list, create, update, delete, patch, watch. Why does this need to be a cluster role? Controller needs cluster access to all of the CRDs that it's responsible for managing. But can't it just be forced to run those in its own namespace? We shall see. So verification policies, tasks, task runs, finalizers, pipelines, and custom. Okay. So I'm thinking it runs all of these just as modified tasks, right? Or jobs. That's what I was thinking, not tasks. I guess not. It creates its own thing called tasks. Cool. All right, then we have another cluster role. This is the access that the controller needs on a per namespace basis. Get, list, create. Okay, so this is so it can create pods and PVCs. All right. Read-only access to config maps, secrets. Okay. And read-write to stateful sets. Cool. The webhook needs to be able to get and update custom resource definitions. All right. Now that's everything up above. I guess we are going to have to document that it's creating a cluster role. I think, that might be something that needs to be added to the process. I mean, since it's just me and it's just my cluster, there's no reason I can't do a software eval and put a security eval right next to it, right? Like, I mean, to me, this so far looks like a potential security issue, but one that I would have to accept or look into more mitigating factors for. Which makes me think this is something that really should be only running on a dev cluster. Which, I mean, it makes sense. It is technically a dev product, right? Get list watch for events. All right, cool. Now we have a role. This is the stuff that's stuck in the same namespace. And I mean, it's kind of fine that it can get to its own config maps because, yeah, it should be able to, right? Let's see, this is the pipeline controller. Okay, and this one is the webhook. Okay. Glad I didn't sneeze in anyone's ear. Needed secrets. List and watch. Yep. Okay. Events controller. Needs to be able to do the events and watch for events. Okay. These leases for their own leader redirection or leader election. Cool. I mean, if you're running it across multiple nodes, you want it to be able to say, hey, I'm the one that does all the stuff. This goes into default instance. What is? Oh, okay. No, that's going to be. Wait a minute. App dot. I need to do a little bit of looking on that. Instance, a unique name identifying the instance of an application. Okay, so it's just saying it is the default application. Cool. See, there's that stupid password that I need to change. I've already changed it, so I don't care. I mean, realistically, if you go and look up the default values, you're going to find that password, so it's not the super secret that I would like it to be. Where was I? Okay, yeah, I was making sure the instance is going to be called default in this case. Another role that gives access to config maps. Here's where we're creating the service account, controller, webhook, and events control. Yeah, pipeline and events controller. And now we're back to cluster role bindings. if this cluster role binding is replaced with a role binding, then the cluster role would be namespace. Yes, that's how that works. The access described by the Tekton pipelines controller tenant access cluster role would be scoped to individual tenant namespaces. Okay. So is this saying that if this cluster role binding is replaced with a role binding, so this is saying that in theory I could make this role in each of the namespaces, and then that namespace would have access to use this, is what it sounds like. And the cluster, okay. Is that true for all three? We may try that to start. Tekton pipelines controller role binding. Is that Tekton's control? Okay, tenant access. And this is just binding everything that we just read about. Where are we on this thing? We are here. Ooh, we got a ways to go. All right, now we got a CRD. This is where we're defining all of the things that we just granted access to. Tekton pipelines. Additional printer columns. So the one thing I'm scanning through this stuff for is basically just to make sure that there's nothing that's phoning home or phoning to somewhere else. That's about the extent of the review I'm going to do here. And I'm not as good with the custom resource definitions as I really should be. One day. All right, these are the pipelines. Just the status, cool. This right here is like someone just catted all these files together. Which is not a bad way of going about it. It's what I should be doing with the 100, 200, 300 standard that I'm holding myself to. I should create a release.yaml on each one of these in this very same way. I mean, I actually wonder if there is an existing script out there that just does that. I don't doubt it. Like it recognizes a script that recognized the API version and then the kind field and would just kind of go, okay, this needs to be in this order. And we just stuff it all together. Because to me, this is easier than Helm. But that's probably just because I haven't bothered to learn Helm, right? Helm seems like it's just a package manager, and I'm sure it's powerful to be able to package up your apps that way and just use the values.yaml, but they're all kind of here, right? Although, well, I was going to say, scrolling through this entire thing takes forever, but some of these values.yaml files are ridiculous. How do we stuff another cluster role here? API group, okay, but it's just in their API group, and it aggregates everything. Okay. Ah, here we go. This block is not actually functional configuration. But serves to illustrate the available configuration options and document them in a way that's accessible to users that edit this config map. Is that going to be our next step? Please refer to the operator. Operator? Great. I suppose it was only a matter of time, right? Maybe we look at this, huh? I mean, for all the crap I just talked about Helm, at least it'll let me test faster. I won't spend too much time configuring, and then I can just go through the YAML files later. Wait, what? Okay, that's funny. Use available installation profiles. So Lite installs all right, so the default is releases operator latest release. In case you want to install the other components. Well, I mean, I would want all, I think. All right. I mean, I am kind of a sucker for anything with, there I go again. I'm a sucker for anything that uses the panda logo or trash panda. Maybe it's a raccoon. I don't know. It's an animal wearing a headset. Let's take a look at this file. Hi, Al. Hey, this one's quite a bit shorter. Wait, what? That's not enough. That is definitely not enough. To install pipelines, triggers, and chains, and dashboard, use profile all. So is this saying I've got to install this and then do this? This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, sure. So my guess is that that's saying I need to run this and then run this? But where's the Helm chart? Install Helm Git plugin. Typically use a tag. Okay. Install -n, create namespace, set install CRDs true. All right. So what do we say? Are we trying Helm? I think I need the Helm Git plugin. Let's see what happens if I may already have it, but nope. So this go away. So this project relies on this project. This is, I'm not a huge fan of that. So I'm guessing with that being the case, all right, let me make sure I'm back at the right place. All right, so now there's community and operator. This is very roundabout. Note, this will also install pipeline, trigger, change, and dashboard. Okay, so this is already going to install all. But I can use this to request all. All right, let's do dev service Tekton. Let's get this release file. We want you to go dot dot slash. Cool. All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, 45 minutes in, and all we've done is read. I'm guessing this is going to be a lot of the same stuff. But I can do a quick scroll. These are the same, roughly, CRDs that we were seeing before. Here's our RBAC stuff. And now we're at the configuration. Zap logger config. Okay, so metrics backend Prometheus, your stack driver project ID, no. Got a config map. Okay, it's going to be 9090, standard Prometheus stuff. This will be the service 443. Here we go. Finally, we're at the deployment. Hoi. All right, so containers has these args controller. Okay. Unique process name. That's going to be its unique process name. Auto install components. Okay, so this is where it would be trying to go and check to see what profile to install, or what install profile. Okay, that makes sense. All right, it pulls that. So it pulls operator twice. Environment image. Oh, there we go. Tekton operator lifecycle, and this is a deployment, so that one, and then this guy is the cluster operations. But it's just the same image twice. All right, cool. Now we have another deployment. This is the webhook. All right, that's at least a different image. 8443, and that's it. Let's see what happens. I mean, we didn't change nothing. So let's go with how. And we're just going to run it the way they recommend rather than running it from local. If I need to change something, I'll change something. Oh yeah. you're going to make a field copyable, why? Why does there? It's so common that people. No, I need to. This is a conversation. This is a conversation we need to have, GitHub people. If you're going to put something, and not even GitHub, actually, this is for all of the tutorials that you find, everything along those lines. If you're going to make a field so that you can copy and paste it into a terminal, remove your prompt, please. I mean, it's just one extra step, but you're expecting the reader to do it. And I get it. Command not found. Haha, it's so funny. But if I was someone who had no idea, I would just think, well, this is broken. Move on. Or I would just be like, I'm an idiot. We can be better than this. Tirade over. Or is it? Boy. All right, let's go. This is going to be in Tekton operator. 0, 1. 1 and 1. All right, so we did our install. I should probably update my docs. We'll just put you here and point out that instead we did this. I mean, you'd think that GitHub, I mean, actually, this is directed at you, Microsoft. If this is there, just take it out. You're an AI company now. You can do that, right? Now for real, tirade over. Probably. Steps are now this. Our next step, though, is what? I mean, I'm guessing. Let's hop back over here. So we run that thing. Does it create an ingress? An ingress. No, it does not. It does create a service at 9090. So let's start just by seeing if we can get away with forwarding it. Cool. All right. Let's check Zipod logs. What do we got going on? I mean, it might still be installing, right? Thing I do need to do. This is not going to be in dev services. Unfortunately, it has to go back here. I need to create a folder. No. I need to move you to root. Yep. And we got to rename you. Reconcile. One more try. Wait a minute. Did I just do what I think I just did? Yeah. Wrong one. It is going to be this one I need. All right. Where's my forwarding? This is the one we care about. Client sent an HTTP. Proceed. Invalid content type. Okay. So, wasn't that supposed to install the dashboard? Installing operator. This will also install pipeline trigger chains and dashboard. All right. Let's get rid of you. You're not useful anymore. Go back. That's not what I want. It's me testing. Yeah, this is what I should be seeing. Manage and view, okay. This will install a dashboard in read only by default. Did another one get created and I'm just not aware of it yet? Ah, yes. There we go. Well, there's your problem. It's you that I need to forward. There we are. Not a huge fan of the idea that it runs in two separate namespaces. That's kind of annoying, but you know what else is kind of annoying? There's no... Alright, so I got the repository. Where do I have user? Like, I understand it's cloud native, but it's still got to have users, right? By default, it's not exposed outside the cluster. So is their entire... Is that what they're doing? The idea is that you put it in front of authentic or something. different. Okay. There we go. Dashboard does not provide its own authentication. However, it will pass on any authentication provided. Well, I'm not a huge fan of that. This may be short. Because I really don't want to deal with the idea of something that can make changes to the cluster not requiring as a username and password. Yeah. Nope. 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 Okay. Well. It was unexpected that that would go that quickly. But that's part of the process, right? So let's make sure that we have this. Because it did install a lot of stuff, and I want to make sure that that gets cleaned up. This can go away, this can go away. Let's make sure and get rid of our port forwarding rules. All right, and this is just the dashboard install. That's not what we really want. We want the operator. And at least well, with the Helm chart, they had the instructions to delete. I guess we're just doing this. Oh, let's make sure. Where did I put it? Did I type it into here? Yes, I did. So let me see. We have yeah, see, this didn't create any of the other stuff. So that's mildly concerning. Oops. Service secret config map. Okay. But now do I manually need to get rid of the other stuff? I think I do. Man, these two don't get hit all that often. So I'm wondering if this is hanging because it's doing the other stuff. I don't know how it would do the other stuff. So I think I'm going to have to get rid of triggers, pipelines, events, and chains manually. I love it when a test just litters my cluster with stuff. All right, so operator is currently uninstalling. Actually, let's go here. We need chains, pipeline, dashboard, triggers. And it looks like on this one, see, no $sign. Am I going to have to do... Yeah, great. The namespace you provided does not match. You must pass to... Well, that's... Okay, okay. Oops, what was that called? Dang it. I just overwrote release. Oh. Maybe not. Cool. Go back to here. We want to go here. We want to say replace. We want to find... Replace with singular, no, plural. Replace all. Why am I even dealing with that? Config chains not found. All right. Let's just validate that. Config maps. Cool. It does in fact show that. Oh, hey, they're terminating now. Okay, so that's hanging because it is getting rid of everything. Maybe. Taking a long time. That's the last of that water. No pods, no deployments. About to write a response. End. Oh, are they both gone now? They're both gone. So why are you still hanging? I mean, considering everything was still running, I'm inclined to let it do what it's gonna do, but it's weirding me out a little bit. In the meantime, though, this is going to become an archive because it just won't do. I mean, this seemed to do it. Oops. Let's add some notes just to say that relax. And a bus. Wow. I don't know what you want from me. Tekton operator and Tekton pipelines namespace. Let's save ya. And hop back over here. How's this looking? Still acting like it's doing stuff. All right. Hey, get back here. Status rejected. Verdict. I'm gonna say decline for incomplete, just because. I mean, really. No current. I mean, I have plans, but no current. Attaching docs. So this is just so that I can come back and go, Yeah, that didn't work, and here's why. The hardest part about this for me is going to be that I have to remember to do a search for a software product in my own Redmine before I decide to go and test it again. I mean, we'll see. A year down the line, I might be like, oh yeah, this sounds like a good, oh. All right. Well, I've kind of already tried it. Well, very kind of. I think I may even still have, yeah, I still have a research open for it. I don't have any information. I think all I did was install it, and I was watching a movie and I got sidetracked on the movie, so I uninstalled it. Now, the one thing I'm wondering about, because I think this is entirely about deploying containers. And that's cool, but I don't want to just deploy containers, right? And that's why I was using Jenkins. I want to do custom Docker images, of course, but I also want to be able to just deploy code, test code, right? And I think that's one of the big reasons why I didn't go straight to this. But let's take a look. Let's just make sure. Yeah, I think that was part of it too. And this is where, yeah, so this is the deploy side of integration. So I would have this installed alongside Jenkins or something like that. I don't think this is what I need. I am going to copy this into here. Research, we're going to set you to in progress. I mean, it is right there in the name. It's the CD to the CI. Make sure it's assigned to me. Cool. Just leave it alone. It's in progress. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I did have another option, and that was Getia Actions, right? I mean, I'm already running Getia. This does kind of weird me out though, because it says it's available as of 119. It says that it's still under development. Well, let's do a quick start. Let's see. Actions enabled equals true. Now, as far as I understand, oops, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, it'll work. I'm going to sign in, and this one. So I think I need to go to site administration, and it's just here under actions, right? So let's look at how to start a runner. It's recommended to run jobs in a Docker container. What if we use Kubernetes instead? There are multiple ways to install the act runner. You can download the binary from the release page. You can use the Docker image. Which should be here. Easy enough. Configuration is done via a configuration file. Shocker. It's optional. The default configuration will be used when no configuration file is specified. So it seems to me like I'm creating this with a config map. Runner will run jobs for all repositories in the instance, for all in the organization, or at the repo level. It's probably going to be instance level. Oh, great. I'm going to have to create a custom image. It's fine. This is fine. Although, I may be able to just make this a sidecar. Because then the instance is just localhost. Then I just have the token be an environment variable that gets pulled from a secret. Yeah, this will probably work. I see nothing wrong with this. Yeah, I mean, I'm basically doing this. Configure cache. After you've registered, you can run it. Okay, so that's going to have to be the entry point, I guess. If using Docker, the act runner user should be added to the Docker group before starting the service. Okay. I am going to take a quick second. Be right back, and then we'll get into this. Sounds good? Sounds good. We're back. Not go back. And we're back. Just in case anyone's reading instead of listening. All right, where was we? We was about to throw together. Can't add it as a... Sorry, I'm stopping myself from talking again. I can't add it as a sidecar because I have installed using Helm. Actually, though, let's see. Maybe there's something in here that... Nope, not default. We need to go here. Which means I'm going to have to change my password again. Are we having fun or what? I mean, there is an upgrade, so there's that. Let's see. So, global, we have the image. Ingress is handled. It's not going to be in a init container. It's not memcache. Persistence is taken care of. Security, we're not using Postgres. We're not using Postgres. Redis, I think, is disabled. We have SSH, cool, service account, yes, signing, stateful set, strategy. Why is test enabled true? App init directories. Okay, yeah, no, we're not going to be able to do it as a sidecar. At least not by default. I guess we can take a peek real quick. You know, just a quick gander, if you would. Hey, get back here. Helm chart for act runner and rootless. Yep, okay. This is last year. As a user, I'd like to have the ability to enable the runner's deployment within the Helm chart. Yeah. Nobody in the current maintainer is actively using actions yet. We went for woodpecker. Another option would be to move it to Gatia and add it as a subchart so users can manage everything in one place and only need to use enabled. Too much. There are efforts in the Helm chart repo 3 months ago. Test life cycle, okay. I would suggest adding templates act runner and putting all new templates there. We have the policy to use semver tags everywhere instead of latest. The repo uses renovate and all tags are updated in a bundled way. Okay. So if we don't store the .runner config in a persistent volume, each time a new runner will start, we'll have another name. Is not needed anymore. What? And as soon as another, I'll write it. Yeah. So much entertaining. Contributing, it's much more complex than first thought. Oh, so I'll split my review into two parts. Is for, well, let's just, you know what, why didn't I scroll all the way to the bottom? "3 days ago, closed in favor of." I love it. All right, so let's look at this. So actions enabled provisioning, enabled true. Okay, so they're doing it, but this pull request has changes conflicting with the target branch. All right. So 2 weeks ago, last change was 3 weeks ago. I think this is all the default stuff. App name, repository, alright, default configuration, database defaults, cool, server defaults, metrics. I may want to change that in the future. At some point, I need to get one big Prometheus server. For a production-ready single pod instance without external dependencies. For a minimal dev installation. Auth and additionals, okay. I'm about to go back to plan A. Like, it definitely seems like people are working on this. But I'm not seeing how to implement what they're working on, so I think I'm going to do it manually. Just spending too much time reading, right? All right, so we're doing it Docker-wise. Where's the Docker side of things? Wait, where'd it go? Wasn't I just reading the Docker? Let's go back. Nope. And nope. If you want to learn. So use actions. Nate, runners, status. Wait. I must be on the wrong place. Here we go. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, actions are disabled, but we've already done that. This is the registration, but we're running with Docker. Kind of. So let's hop back into here. Actually, let's hop to here. This is still hanging, but that's fine. We want to add all. That. Let's push this up there just because. And then we're going to switch back over. I mean, that's going to be a dead-end branch, basically. We're probably never going to do anything with it again, but it's good to have it. I don't know why, but, you know. Let's yes, we're on main, so actually, let's just double check. Okay. This is going to be feature. Katia act runner. Cool. So this is technically in the wrong place. Let's correct that real quick. Because we're going to have to clean this up. Oh no, the namespace is good to you. Okay, no, we're good. These are just going to have to be tied together because this is all one deployment. So, no, not nano. PSGQL. And actually, none of those are real. I need to export the values.yaml. That's what I need to do. I need to move 100 and 300. Just give myself a to-do so that later when I'm trying to recover, I can look at it and say, well, at least I thought about it. Right? Okay. I am kind of curious about, actually, I don't have something I should have. I do think I have a Gatia. Yeah, there we go. We should create a new issue. This will be a feature. It's not really install. There we go. This is going to be to me. And that'll work for now. I do actually need to close this one because I do have SSH enabled. I should document what's doing it though, because it's not in here. Where is it? No, well, it is in Oh wait, I already have that open. Here. I mean, we're here. We may as well close the ticket, right? Two. Oh. And then there. Submitted. Oops, it still says open. It is not. It is. Oh, I already set it to resolved. It should be closed. And fine, we're here. Let's just do it. Issues. New issue. I'm going to call this support. Kubernetes. Where am I? Assigned to me. Name of software. We'll create. Control A, Control C. Values.yaml. And we're done. In and out, quick adventure. Done. Closed. PSGQL dash. Values.yaml. What do you know? We're opening issues, we're closing issues. Look at us. All right. So let's look at, not you, you. And make sure pasta in progress. That's not the one that I wanted. It's this one. Can I edit this one in particular? Yeah, cool. Information, cool. Sub. All right. Now we actually do some stuff. I know. Boom, 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 boom. Huh? All right. There's too much stuff in there that's got to go. We need a new folder. This is going to be get to your act runner and new file. This is going to be 300. actrunner.yaml. Now, if we look at what needs to be run, no, that's not what I want. I want to get rid of Docker. I want to get rid of run. We have boom, boom, boom. API version v1 kind, which means this is API version is apps v1 metadata. Sure, I can change that. Spec replicas 1. This is not good for my memory. Containers, name. Name. Well, on the plus side, it's using it from here, so that's a thing. I am not going to do this. I'm going to do the other way, which is not what I want. Pods, you. If I hop in here, no, that's not what I want. I need the service, which is you'd think the number of times I've done this, I would just be like, oh yeah. Dash ingress dot service. Nope. Does it actually show? Because this is the one that I care about. Dash HTTP. No. All right. I gotta go look it up. There should be a way to get it with Kuba control. Retrieve the full name of the service in Kubernetes. Oh, that's what's missing. There we go. I think I can actually even just do this. Yep. Because please make sure asset file. Okay. So yeah, that works. Back to here. :3000. Value from secret key ref. Token. I don't think we need to mount it as a volume, right? All right. That's just the Docker sock. I think I am going to need to still mount that though, right? Well, I'll burn that bridge when I come to it. But now I need to make this secret. From, and that's going to be the name of the secret. And yes, I'm still lazy there. Secret name is this. It is going to be in Gatia. Data name is this. And the value is, well, the value is a secret, guys. Oops, that's not the right one though. I need this one. Shwink. I know you guys saw some of it. Some. That's not right. Oh, yes, it was. Whoops. Okay, and we're back. Let's see. How this goes. I need to be here. Yep, I was worried about that. Oh. It maybe didn't like the slash, huh? No? And, oh, it's the underscore. Fix that. I mean, I don't really want it to be called my runner anyway, but whatever. Let's see what we got now. Crash loop back off. Watch. It's in default. But it's probably in Kubi's system. Let's try that again. There we go. Now we get to see crash loop back off. Oh, already one start. A restart. Failed container. What's the failure? Daemon Docker engine socket not found and Docker host config was invalid. Okay. So I need to do the same thing as if I'm running Docker in Docker. So let's take a look at that right quick, huh? So we're gonna have to set some security stuff. Go away. Jank. Docker certs. Fairload Docker. Okay. So is that enough? Boink. So it's containers, it's with the name. I guess it does. We do want that, right? Just a quick double check. I think that's where that goes. So we have container, yeah. All right, and then just that, huh? I don't know if that's the right port. So that's probably going to need to be validated. But hey, get back here. Should be able to just apply it, right? Fine. Deployments. You trash can. Remove. You know what? I'm fixing it right now. Nope. You're not going to be my runner. You're going to be Getia runner because what is this? A tutorial off of Medium? What? Error parsing, line 29. I mean, that should be there, right? Did I just put that wrong? There we go. Yep, we already have a reboot. What do we got now? Cannot ping the Docker daemon. Is it running? Okay, I need to validate that. 2376. We don't have many threes, so we can just make sure that we're on the right one. It should be the same for all of them, in theory, but we shall see. I get the feeling it's something else. So yeah, no. Boom, boom. That's not what I'm after. I'm gonna have to find the tunnel. Yeah, there you go. I wonder if I just need to mount that containerd.sock. That's probably what it's going to be. It says 0, huh? All right, let's go back here. So Docker shim is missing, and I think that's probably what this is going to be. Docker in any compatible runtime. All right, let's look at this. These guys are weird. I like it. There's a newer version. Can I still use? Okay. Yeah, that's not exactly what I'm after. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, wait. Thinking I could just drop the 2375, but no, this is all Docker specific. None of that's going to be useful. Search control different. Okay. No, no. Okay, that's... I was hoping for something that would get close to a reference that I was looking for. Oh, I wonder if that could be... Let's try that, shall we? .0.0.1. It'd be funny if that's all it was. Nope. So real quick, let's just see, are we actually seeing... Wow, that's fun. Pow. Oh man, and you have to do that manually. That's awesome. All right, so it connects, but then it fails to connect to... solver, so it's not an IP thing. What annoys me is that I figured this out once for Jenkins, and I don't think I... Well, you know what? I say I don't think, but... Nope. Oh, no, wait. I want all projects. Do I have? I should still have a project for just Jenkins. Docker builds failing. Did I write anything? I don't have anything attached, so it doesn't look like it. Man, I haven't named any of these things. Okay. Well, let's try that. Let's see what that looks like. Jenkins, Docker, and Docker. I mean, what if I did a volume for container IO? Maybe that's what needs to happen. Container d.sock. So I just do the same thing, but with container d.sock, right? But it's still going to need that environment variable. Here, right? Actually, no. It is not. So, goodbye. We want to do a we need to do create. No volume. That'd be too easy. Let's do why do you need a Docker socket? We can look for an alternative, but we don't want an alternative. So tell them their technology is out of date or use something else. In fact, you probably have anyway, since it expects the specific compose file. Love Reddit. Hey, how do you do this thing? You shouldn't be doing that. In this case, I want that to be able to happen, right? All right, let's go back to all right, let's look at what they got. Token, Docker certs. So this mounts just validating what they're doing here. How old is this? This last year. Let's try just adding this for the sake of argument. Because I'm not worried about, I would rather it starts giving me problems saying that it can't validate certs. I know what to do with that. Now this is the only one that I'm like, okay, we'll try that. All right, so this, they've got it right after the image. Okay, so in this case, I see now they've got another container that is doing Docker and Docker things. Which is here. No, which is here. And it's got the context. All right. So let's go back here. We're not having this be true anymore. I'm going to leave this out. Just curious to see if it's going to do anything. Close all these. Go away. Runner is missing or not a regular file. Error, daemon Docker engine socket not found and Docker host config was invalid. Okay, so it's still crashing. Hopefully it's not generating a million of those. We'll see, huh? Alright, so let's go back to what they're doing. I do have Docker host. I got rid of Docker host, so let's put you back. And I'm gonna have so many of those stupid things to clean up. Nope. It's this one. Uh-oh. What your problem is... Okay, so now it's TLS. So now it's everything that it's talking about. I guess I should have just copied and pasted from the very beginning, right? To Chris, thank you. I've already got the secret. Guess I'm gonna need the claim. The storage class name because it'll take care of itself. Already got the secret. This is what's, yeah, try to spec. Spec volumes containers. We just add the volume mounts. Two. No. And then we put all this stuff back. And add the volume mounts. And let's see what we get now. Name is Docker certs, it's mounted there. Name is runner data, it's mounted there. I didn't do something stupid like rename it, right? All right, cool. Here's my volumes. Storage. Act under volume. Why don't I have a claim? Gosh. I need to go back to claim. Need to be in the right namespace. One of these days. One of these days. Default. Goodbye. And once again. Dang it. What's our error? Okay, starting up. Could not change group. Group Docker not found. Well, that would be true. Let's try that. Let's do a quick search. Wait, we just did this. Change. The build X Docker container driver. So basically you need a place to run this Docker container, which you don't have. We define Docker as privileged, okay, which I've done. Quick adventure in and out, always, right guys? Alright, so let's just validate what this person has. Is this it? No. Why is that open? Nope. That's just who's adopting it. Don't care. This is no longer useful. Do I have that open in a different window? Great, I closed it. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Now, I need, there we go. This is the one I was just looking at. Yeah, ish. So there's the Jenkins certs. It's got its own storage and then Jenkins data. It's still saying Docker host is local. This is definitely the one that I use to get the one working in Jenkins. I'm not seeing anything. Glib container D, start new container process. This might be something I need to change in Docker. Need to set the variable Docker host. Is he getting the same error? Could not connect. Nope, that's different. Dang it. Read all that for nothing. Info there. Oh. So maybe it's in the command? Let's see. Boom. Oh, that's waiting for. But that doesn't really help me because nope, I didn't mean that. All right, this is the one I was looking at, but it says the other error. Docker host, TLS verify. You know what I haven't done? I just accepted the version. What is the current version of Docker and Docker? Let's take a look here. Nope, that's not what I want. What are you? Nope. Want. Okay, let's just check Docker Hub. Oh. That's a bit of a drop off, huh? Why does that name look? That name's kind of weirding me out, but okay. Let's do 27.0. That's a little bit behind, huh? It's always nice when you can just update your way out of a problem, right? That looks really familiar, though. Yeah. It recognizes container D, though. Failed to load plugin. Dev mapper not configured. Okay. Can't find device. Mod probe. Can't change directory. That's fine. Most of this is just info. Where's the actual error? But then we're getting TLS problems. Okay. Cannot ping. Is it running? Client sent an HTTP request to an HTTPS server. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Let's hop over here. Is it because I'm using 2376 and I should be using 2375? I'm gonna have so many of these things to clean up. Waiting for. And what do you say? Okay, so now it's just not trying to connect at all. That's useful. Go back to 6. Does that mean I switch this to that? And we try it again. Client sent an HTTP request to an HTTPS server. This shouldn't be an HTTPS. Cannot ping Docker daemon. Is it running? Well, now the daemon is in crash loop back off. Okay, so it's got the certs. Can I just tell it, hey, who cares? Don't use the certs. So let's look here. This is Docker and Docker. Container port, host port protocol. Okay. This is for Docker and Docker. Let's try that here. So those are, yeah, that's in the environment. So if I do this, and then up here, same deal. Oop. At 47. What? 47 did not have an expected key. Oh. My bad. I'm just going to watch it for a second. Okay, it's been a second. It's still saying it's listening on 2376. Alright, fine. I mean, shouldn't that... According to this, it's saying Docker and Docker will accept that. Wait, which image am I using here? Yeah, so that's the Getia runner. And it's just trying to connect to Docker and Docker. And I'm telling it to listen on a different... What? Is this the situation where it's that? I certainly believe that's possible. Loading containers, start. Nope. It's listening, because it's listening on IPv6. So if I put you back to here, since I'm not validating it anyway, is it going to matter? Wow, that was crazy. Got dark. And we're back to restarting. TLS handshake error. All right. Well, I think this is going to fall under to be continued for now. Yeah. Let me just... I'm going to kill this deployment. Bye-bye. And it'll get revisited, because that's where it's at. I'll probably do a little bit of work on it today and see if I can figure out what the heck I did when I was running it in Jenkins that allowed it to run just fine. Yeah, and go from there. So let's switch over. How? And call it a day. If you lurked for a little bit, Or if you're still lurking, thanks for hanging out. Next time, say hi. If you're on YouTube and you've made it this far, that's awesome. Thanks a lot. And if you just skipped over to this part, hey, whatever, you do you. Hope everyone has a good night. Heads up, I probably won't be streaming Thursday or Friday. We'll see. But yeah, have a good one.